Here's the pattern I keep seeing. Most social media managers wake up and immediately dive into content creation, client messages, or scrolling for inspiration. They are optimizing for output when they should be optimizing for strategic clarity fast. I used to do this too. I'd wake up, grab my phone, and start responding to client messages before I even had my tea. I thought being available and productive meant being fast to respond, fast to post, fast to engage. What I was actually doing was building a reactive business instead of a strategic one. The shift happened when I realized something crucial. The decisions I make in the first hour of my day determine whether I'm building strategically or just staying busy. Most SMMs are busy. Very few are strategic, and that difference shows up in everything: their positioning, their client quality, their income, their peace. So here's the strategic insight I'm working with about morning routines. Your morning habits either reinforce your positioning as a strategist or keep you trapped as a task executor. If you read nothing else, here's the strategic framework I'm working with this week. 1. Strategic clarity before content creation. Most SMMs create fast and think later. Reversing this order changes everything about the quality of your work and positioning. 2. Pattern recognition needs protected time. Your ability to see what others miss, your competitive advantage into brackets, only develops when you create space to observe and analyze. 3. Systems thinking compounds daily. Small morning refinements to your processes create exponential efficiency over 90 days. 4. Intentional energy management beats time management. Managing your strategic energy when you do deep work matters more than how many hours you work. Your morning routine is your competitive mode. While others are reacting, you're positioning. While they are creating content, you're building strategy. Alright, let's get strategic. Why most SMMs start their day wrong? The gap I keep seeing. Why most SMMs start their day wrong? The gap I keep seeing. Oh my god. The solopreneurs and freelancers I talk to have the same morning routine. Wake up, check phone, panic about what needs to be done, start executing, feel overwhelmed by noon. They are optimizing for speed when they should be optimizing for direction. They are trying to be productive when they should be trying to be strategic. The gap: they never create space to think, observe, and position before they execute. Here's what this costs them. It costs you missed opportunities because you're too busy to see patterns. Reactive client relationships, always responding instead of leading, and positioning yourself as an executor instead of a strategist. Your clients hire you for what you do and how you think, and that caps your income and impact. I see this especially with VAs transitioning into SMM. They bring the VA mindset, task completion, speed, availability into strategic work, brand positioning, content planning, audience analysis, and wonder why they can't charge premium rates or attract ideal clients. The pattern how you start your morning determines how you show up in your business. The strategic framework: 3 morning habits that changed everything. I'm not going to give you the typical wake up at 5 a.m., meditate, journal routine. Those things are fine, but they're not strategic. I'm sharing the 3 habits that specifically position me as a strategist instead of a tags executor and how they compound over time. Habit 1. Strategic review before anything else, 15 minutes. So before I check messages, before I look at my to-do list, before I open social media, I do a strategic review. This is in planning my tasks. This is asking strategic questions like what happens or what patterns did I notice yesterday in client, work, market trends, audience behavior. 2. What's the one strategic decision that would have the biggest impact this week? And 3. Where am I being reactive instead of intentional? What opportunity am I not seeing yet? Why this works? It shifts my brain from task mode to strategy mode. Instead of responding to what's urgent, I'm positioning for what's important. This 15-minute practice has saved me hours of wasted work and helped me spot opportunities other SMMs miss. The tool I use: a simple Notion template with 4 questions. I'm sharing this as today's freebie, so check it out in the description box below. I fill it out daily, and by the end of the week, I can see patterns I would have missed if I was just executing. So just last month, I noticed through my morning reviews that 3 different clients were struggling with the same positioning issue. They had beautiful content but no clear brand message. That pattern led me to create a positioning framework I now use with every client. One morning habit, one strategic insight, one repeatable system that increased my value. Remember, strategic thinking requires protected time. If you start your day in reactive mode, you'll stay there all day. Habit 2, pattern recognition practice, 20 minutes. This is the habit that separates strategists from content creators. Every morning, I spend 20 minutes observing, not creating, not posting, not engaging, just watching and analyzing. What am I looking for? What I look for is, one, what's working in my niche right now, and why it's working, not just what it is. Which brand is the second? Which brands are positioning themselves effectively, and what can I learn from their strategy? And thirdly, where am I seeing gaps in the market? Opportunities to position differently. Into brackets, what my ideal clients are talking about is for, so I can speak to their actual needs, not what I assume they need, in brackets. Why this works? Most SMMs consume content randomly. I consume strategically. I'm not looking for inspiration, I'm looking for patterns. This habit has made me better at brand analysis, content strategy, and positioning than any course ever could. The tools I use: Instagram Insights to see what content performs, competitor analysis, 5 brands I study weekly, and a simple observation tracker where I document what I notice. 2 weeks ago, I noticed that solopreneurs in my niche were getting higher engagement on behind the scenes. Content that looked less polished, and content that polished. Let me repeat that. 2 weeks ago, I noticed that solopreneurs in my niche were getting higher engagement on behind the scenes content than polished posts. That pattern informed my content strategy for this Planmas challenge, showing my real journey, not a highlight reel. The result, day 1 got 300 plus views because it was authentic and strategic, not just pretty. Remember, your ability to see what others miss is your competitive advantage, but you have to create space to actually see it. Let me sip some water because dang, I don't know what's happening. And I'm recording my blog version. I'm reading it to you guys as a video version, so dang. Habit 3. Systems refinement, 10 minutes. This is the compound interest of productivity. Every morning I ask, what's one small improvement I can make to my systems today? Not big overhauls, not complete redesigns, just small refinements that add up. Can I automate this recurring task? Can I batch this type of work? Can I template this deliverable? Can I eliminate this unnecessary step? Why this works? Over 90 days, these tiny improvements compound. A system that takes you 2 hours today takes you 30 minutes in 3 months. Not because you're working faster, but because you've eliminated waste and built efficiency. The approach I'm using is I keep a systems improvement tracker where I document what's taking too much time, what's repetitive, and what could be streamlined. Then I pick one thing each week to improve. I used to spend 45 minutes creating each blog post social caption. Now I have templates for each platform that I can customize in 5 minutes. That small system refinement saves me 6+ hours per week. Over 91 days, that's 78+ hours I can invest in strategy instead of execution. Remember, systems let you scale without losing yourself. Small refinements today is equals to massive capacity tomorrow. Why I choose this career, the strategic alignment. People ask me why I choose social media management. Here's the real answer. I didn't choose SMM because I love social media. Maybe I did, but hey, I chose it because I saw a gap between what most people are teaching and what actually works. Most SMM training teaches tactics, how to schedule posts, how to design graphics, how to use hashtags. That's not strategy, that's execution. And while execution matters, it's not what transforms business strategy. Because it's not what transforms businesses, strategy does. And I choose this career because I love seeing patterns others miss. I really do. I do, I just love seeing the wave of how things are moving and like aligning myself towards it. And I love analyzing why something works, not just what it works, not just that it works. I love positioning brands for what's coming next, not just what's trending now. I love building systems that create freedom, not just income. And here's what I have discovered so far is when you approach SMM strategically instead of tactically, everything changes. Your clients see you differently, your pricing reflects your value, your work feels aligned instead of draining. You're not just managing social media, you're building brand strategy, creating positioning frameworks, and helping people grow sustainably. That's why these 3 money habits matter so much. They position me to do strategic work I actually want to do, not just the tactical work clients think they need. Remember, you become what you practice. Practice strategy daily, become a strategist. Practice tasks daily. Stay a task executor. My daughter has just walked in, guys. So here's the strategic framework I'm taking into this week. Can you imagine up red lipstick? Wow, so I'm gonna let her imagine at exactly 12:49. Wow, my mom and my daughter just have a time of their lives. Sorry guys. So here's the strategic framework I'm taking into this week. Clarity before creation. I don't create content until I've spent time thinking strategically about what's needed and why. This saves me time and improves quality, but I would also argue it does make me procrastinate a bit. Pattern reveal positioning is the second one. The more I observe intentionally, the better I get at seeing opportunities and helping clients position effectively. This is my competitive advantage. Small systems compound. Every tiny improvement to my workflows creates more capacity for strategic work. Over 91 days, this will transform how I operate. And if you're also building your online business, whether you're where I was 3 months ago or 3 weeks ahead of me, where I am now, remember this: the future belongs to the strategist who can see what's coming and position their people for it. Your intentional choices compound. Your clarity attracts your people. Your systems let you scale without losing yourself. That's what I'm building. That's what I'm teaching, and you can too. Remember Proverbs 16:3, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. The one thing, if you only remember one thing from today: how you start your morning determines whether you're building strategically or just staying busy. Protect your strategic thinking time like it's sacred, because it is. Let's build this together. I'd love to hear strategic thinking too. Drop a comment. What's your biggest gap when it comes to your morning routine? Where do you feel like you're being reactive instead of strategic? Grab today's freebie down below in the description box. Download the strategic morning routine template for SMMs. It's a simple framework to plan your mornings for strategic clarity instead of reactive busyness. And tomorrow's topic, we're diving into a challenge I overcame in SMM, plus how it shaped my intentional work philosophy. Tag someone building online who needs this perspective as well. And thank you so much for reading and listening to me reading to you guys. I help solopreneurs, freelancers, and women in digital business build sustainable online presence that feels aligned, impactful, and ready to scale sustainably. Join me for 91 days as we build. Oh, my baby has walked in. So once again, join me for 91 days as we build strategy plus systems plus spiritual alignment. Oh my God, my mom. My daughter is so loud. Mom, rudisha vitu zangu. Rudisha hiyo ID yangu. Rudisha haraka vitu zangu, rudisha. Aya, tokiana na mamati. Orika yako dehera chipo. Love you. Mwah. Jesu. Nake. Aya, see ya. Join me for 91 days as we build strategy plus systems plus spiritual alignment together, because building online should not cost you your peace. This is a day 2 of Planmas, the morning habits most SMMs keep them reactive instead of strategic. I tested this framework for 19 days, and I'm clearly on this. I'm testing it for I'm testing this framework for 90 days. I don't know why I said I tested. It's real strategy, real results, real shit. So join me. Yeah.